Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about how is Saturn in the 8th house. So what is 8th house basically? 8th house talks about challenges in your life. 8th house talks about obstacles. 8th house talks about sudden ups and downs. 8th house talks about longevity. 8th house talks about your relationship with the in-laws. 8th house talks about your inherited property. Okay, and 8th house also talks about your support from the government. All right, all these things can be bank loans, all those things can be seen from the 8th house. And 8th house talks about marital life matters as well. Okay, so depending upon the planet that is sitting, the prediction will be changing across. And let me talk to you about, in fact, I made a video on the Venus in the 8th house. Please do check that video as well. In fact, this video is all about what happens if Saturn is in the 8th house. So depending upon the planet, depending upon the strength of the planet, it differs. For example, let's say I'll talk from the both angles, from the strong Saturn and the weaker Saturn. Let's say Saturn is stronger in the birth chart, and let's say Saturn and your 8th house happen to be your Capricorn zodiac sign, or maybe Aquarius zodiac sign, or maybe Libra, or even the your Taurus. Okay, and Saturn is positive there. And if Saturn is placed in the 8th house, in these four zodiac signs, you will be getting a lot, you will be getting a long life. You will be living for a longer period of time. The longevity will be very high. And but let me make you to understand the aspects also matters. What are the aspects that Saturn is receiving? Based on that, the prediction changes again. Okay. And let's say Saturn from the 8th house, he will be aspecting the 10th house of career. So what happens? Saturn is the planet of delays and denials. So Saturn aspecting onto the 10th house, it will delay your promotions. It will delay in terms of settling in your job. It will delay in terms of getting the good high status in the society. Okay, 10th house talks about social status. 10th house talks about career as well as business. Okay, so 8th house, from the 8th house Saturn is watching 10th house, which will be delayed. Okay, and from 8th house Saturn will be watching the 2nd house, which is not good for finances. You will be getting the financial stability, but only after the age of 35. Only after the age of 35 you will be getting the financial stability, because Saturn is a planet of longevity. Saturn represents delays and denials, and Saturn represents suffering, right? So that planet, malefic planet, comes into the obviously Saturn from the 8th house will be watching the 2nd house. 2nd house represents financial matters as well as speech. So those two things will become a problematic for you. And Saturn from the 8th house will be watching the 5th house as well. 5th house represents children. 5th house represents romance. 5th house represents support from the friends. 5th house represents speculatory gains. So I mean, in terms, there will be progeny issues if at all it's a female, and uh, you need to understand the people from the realistic perspective. So you'll be acting a little bit stubborn during this point of time if Saturn is placed in the 8th house. So you need to come out of that habit, being so stubborn about not understanding the people from their perspective. Start thinking from their perspective and ensure that, see, whatever the afflictions in the birth chart can be able to treat with the application of mind. If at all your mindset is super strong, if at all, if you uh, if you understand your own birth chart, all right, if you understand your own birth chart, you will know where and all you need to focus your attention to. For example, let's say in the birth chart, financial progress is not there or career progress is not there. Obviously, you need to improve on those aspects. To improve finances, what you need to do. To improve your career, what you need to do. So these are the questions that you need to ask once you understand about your own birth chart. And then you need to make a plan. And then you need to do the SWOT analysis. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? And what are the threats? And based on that, you need to take your life along. So that's what astrology will be able to help you to understand the afflictions, and astrology also helps you to know what happens from the career perspective, from the business perspective, from the relationship perspective, or from the financial perspective, can be seen from the astrological birth chart. So that is the main reason why astrological consultation is very much required for you to have, because you will be able to understand your birth chart in a thorough way. That means you can able to understand about your own self. Then you know from what point to what point you need to go and what you need to do to get into that point. For that, you need to you need to get the analysis done for your astrological birth chart. All right. So as I mentioned to you, Saturn is not always bad. Saturn is a tough master. Basically, you need to understand the planet Saturn also. Saturn is a tough master, and he is the karaka for your career as well as business as well as relationships. For every area of your life, Jupiter and Saturn is there. So if at all you have any of one planet is good in your birth chart, obviously you'll be seeing that early success, and also with very less effort you can able to get the more rewards. But if at all Saturn or Jupiter is weaker in the birth chart, obviously you need to put more and more efforts, but obviously there will be less output. All right. So for that you need to make some systematic plans, and you need to work on your life so that you will not be facing such events in future. All right. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and please book for astrological consultation if at all you need my astrological consultation. The link is mentioned in the description section. Once I get a consultation order, I'll be able to help you with the complete analysis pertaining to your individual birth chart. Okay, and let me know in the comment section what exactly you learned from this video, what exactly you learned from this video. If at all you have any questions, please put it in the comment box, or else you can even send me an email so that I can able to respond for your queries. Okay, so thank you so much, and stay tuned for more videos, and bye for now.